I'm going to cry. I'm already crying, which is embarrassing, but, well, I'm not good with this sort of thing.
Number 20, Jimmy Kimmel's tribute to Don Rickles, Jimmy Kimmel Live. When late-night talk show hosts get emotional on television, it's usually for good reason. During an episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live in April 2017, Kimmel began his opening monologue in tears as he shared that his close friend Don Rickles had passed away.
He was 90 years old, and I know it sounds crazy to say he was too young, but he was, because he was youthful and funny and sharp and generous.
Rickles, who was a legendary stand-up comedian, was a frequent guest on the show. The host shared some heartwarming and hilarious stories.
They called him Mr. Warmth as a joke, but that was what he was. He would always ask about my parents, my kids. When my Uncle Frank passed away, I called him and asked him to be the guest on that show.
He struggled to hold back tears throughout, and it was clear how much the late comic meant to him. And in true Rickles fashion, he brought some laughter into the tragedy before honoring him in the most sincere way.
There will never be another Don Rickles. He's probably the greatest talk show guest of all time.
Number 19, Ellen DeGeneres sobs over failed dog adoption. The Ellen DeGeneres Show.
Today is a hard day for me. Today is bad. And I am not capable of coming out and pretending to be funny and on when things are going so terribly wrong right now.
DeGeneres is no stranger to the world of animal adoption. Unfortunately, she didn't read the fine print when adopting dog Iggy in 2007, when she and her wife Portia de Rossi still had 6 pets. After realizing that she wouldn't have enough time or energy to ensure Iggy got along with their other animals, she gave the dog to her hairdresser's family. However, this ultimately went against the contractual agreement of the adoption and resulted in the dog being taken away. Afterwards, DeGeneres went on her show to weepingly plead for Iggy to be returned to the heartbroken family.
And I feel totally responsible for it, and I'm so sorry. And I'm begging them to give that dog back to that family. I just want the family to have the dog. It's not their fault. It's my fault.
She was notably unable to keep her composure as she talked about her guilt over the situation.
So I'm sorry. What a great show we have today. Oh, God.
Number 18, Johnny Carson's Last Tonight Show. The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson.
And so it has come to this. I am one of the lucky people in the world. I found something I always wanted to do, and I have enjoyed every single minute of it.
Johnny Carson is one of the most prolific talk show hosts in the history of late-night television, starring on the hugely successful Tonight Show for a whopping 30 years. Naturally, he became a household name. So, as Carson's widely beloved tenure as late night's leading man came to an end, fans cherished their last night with him.
Now, we don't want the show to be mawkish. This is it's a farewell show. There's a certain sadness among the staff here, a little melancholy. But look on the bright side. You won't have to read or see one more story about my leaving the show.
The host offered a final farewell to the people who helped make the show what it was, before turning his attention to the audience. His speech was heartfelt and captured the significance of the moment, so much so that he even made himself tear up at the end.
And I hope when I find something that I want to do and I think you will like and come back, that you'll be as gracious in inviting me into your home as you have been. I bid you a very heartfelt good night.
Number 17, Hoda Kotb is inspired by Drew Brees. Today, anchor Hoda Kotb tried hard to keep herself together after an emotional interview on the morning show with then New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees. But we definitely can't blame her for being visibly moved afterwards.
Sorry.
The former Super Bowl champion talked about how he was donating $5 million to COVID-19 relief in Louisiana. That money would notably help feed a slew of people.
Drew, a lot of people don't know the need for food in New Orleans. I mean, the numbers have always been staggering to me, but 1 in 6 Louisiana households struggle to put food on the table. 1 in 4 seniors are hungry. 1 in 4 children.
Of course, this story is enough to pull on the heartstrings of just about anybody, but it likely hit especially close to home for Kotb, who worked as an anchor for WWL-TV in New Orleans from 1992 to 1998.
It's a lot. I know where your heart is, my dear. I do.
Number 16, Oprah Winfrey announces the end of her show. The Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah was a staple on TV screens across the world for 25 years, so her departure from her widely famous talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, was sure to be an emotional one.
So I wanted you to hear this directly from me.
Despite the series' tremendous success and incredibly dedicated fan base, Oprah made the decision to step away from the show in 2009, following its 25th season in 2011.
I love this show. This show has been my life.
Despite keeping her composure through most of the announcement, the host could be seen choking back tears as she begins thanking her audience for inviting her into their lives for so long and for, quote, enriching her life.
25 years feels right in my bones and it feels right in my spirit. It's the perfect number.
Can someone pass the tissues? Number 15. David Letterman's monologue following the events of September 11th, 2001. Late Show with David Letterman. David Letterman spent his late-night career in New York City, so it came as no surprise that when 9/11 tragically rocked the nation, he, like everyone else, was heartbroken.
We've lost 5,000 fellow New Yorkers, and you can feel it. You can feel it. You can see it. It's terribly sad. Terribly, terribly sad.
Dave was the first late-night host to return to TV following the tragedy, speaking from the Late Show studio roughly 4 miles away from where the Twin Towers had stood. The episode began with a somber opening monologue.
We're told that they were zealots fueled by religious fervor. And if you live to be 1,000 years old, will that make any sense to you? Will that make any goddamn sense?
Letterman emotionally paid homage to the victims, the city's first responders, and the communities across America that rallied around New York City. His voice was shaking at points, and his sadness was both palpable and poignant.
If you didn't believe it before, and it's easy to understand how you might have been skeptical on this point. If you didn't believe it before, you can absolutely believe it now. New York City is the greatest city in the world.
Number 14. Drew Barrymore gets emotional during an intimate look into her life. The Drew Barrymore Show. Drew Barrymore admittedly faced some struggles growing up as a child star.
I was a real wild child. And I just got so out of control that no one knew what to do with me.
In a segment for her talk show, she traveled through LA and took viewers into the landmarks of her childhood. Beginning with the first house she lived in with her mom, Barrymore choked back tears. She remembered how lonely she was there and how drastically things had changed since then.
This place just taught me that I wasn't the kind of person who wanted to live in a quiet, lonely place.
But she got even more emotional at the end of the tour when she took viewers to the psychiatric institution that she was placed in when she was 13. Shedding tears once more, she showed gratitude for her life, and it was nothing short of moving.
I never thought I was going to make it to somewhere better, and I'm just so happy with my life. And I don't know if I would have the life I have if it wasn't for a place like this.
Number 13. Meghan McCain returns to The View after her father's passing. The View. While The View is known for its fiery hot topic conversations and sometimes controversial takes, it is rare that we get to see emotional moments on the show quite like the return of host Meghan McCain following the death of her father.
All of you, I just want to start with you, Whoopi. My father loved you. He loved you. He really loved you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, baby. Take your time.
Meghan, who spoke openly about her father's battle with brain cancer leading up to his death, was holding back tears as she received a warm welcome from audience members and her View colleagues.
I have missed all of you so much. Thank you so much, Whoopi. I missed all of you ladies so much.
While Meghan was visibly emotional for the entire segment, it wasn't until she began discussing the support she had received from her fellow hosts that she completely broke down crying, saying that
none of us agree at this table on very much when it comes to politics in the world, but we are all sisters here supporting each other.
We got your back, girl.
But this is what America could be.
Number 12. Craig Ferguson eulogizes his mother. The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson.
Most nights I say it's a great day for America, and of course it is. It's just a very sad day for me.
Ferguson is known for his quick wit and Scottish sense of humor, which kept his much-beloved talk show lighthearted and endlessly entertaining. So when he opened an episode in 2008 with a special monologue about the passing of his mother, it touched the hearts of many adoring fans.
My mother and I had a complicated relationship. When I was younger, we butted heads a lot. But as I got older, I realized that there was no point, in doing that. I should just do what she wants and we'd get along fine, and that's what happened.
Ferguson was able to keep himself composed for the majority of his monologue, as he cracked jokes and told lovely stories about his childhood. But he was visibly shaken at the end of his eulogy, holding back tears at the reminder that his parents were together once again.
And now I take some comfort in thinking that, wherever they are, they're together again. And he's getting the news. We'll be right back, all right?
Number 11. Kelly Clarkson meets an inspiring mother. The Kelly Clarkson Show. While Kelly may have spent the past few decades making us all cry with her stunning vocals and heartbreaking lyrics, she's now on the receiving end of that sob fest as she meets with inspiring guests on her talk show. This was perhaps most evident during her interview with Rachel Handy, a domestic abuse survivor and mother of 5 who's faced financial struggles due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our bills are piling up, we have a mortgage to pay, and honestly, I just don't know how much longer we can keep this up.
Despite being laid off from her job and almost losing her house, Handy and her family decided to make meals for the homeless as a way of giving back to their community.
We all feel like, woo! We all feel like woo! I'm good.
It's safe to say, this was enough to have Kelly choking back a few tears.
So thank you so much for being just such a great example. And know that even on those days when you feel like, I'm failing, you're not. It's just a bad day.
Number 10. Nick Cannon tearfully reveals that his infant son Zen passed away. Nick Cannon.
Today is a special one, y'all. It's like, for many reasons, but it's not going to be an easy one.
Losing a child is something no parent should have to go through, but sadly, it's a pain that host and actor Nick Cannon knows all too well. In December 2021, he revealed that he and Alyssa Scott had lost their 5-month-old son Zen to a rare form of brain cancer. Cannon announced the death on his talk show Nick Cannon. He explained that Zen had had a malignant brain tumor, which began devolving rapidly over the Thanksgiving holidays.
This weekend, I made a valid effort to spend the most quality time I could spend with Zen.
He struggled to get through the monologue as he tearfully recalled his last moments with his son and showed viewers an extremely vulnerable side of himself.
Having holding my son for the last time.
Yep, we are crying. Number 9. James Corden on the 2017 Westminster incident. The Late Late Show with James Corden. After an attack killed 4 pedestrians and injured many more in London, James Corden took to his talk show to speak about the tragedy that took place in his hometown. Corden got visibly upset while speaking about the horrifying incident.
Our thoughts go out to everyone who's been affected by this.
While he held back most of the physical evidence of tears, he clearly got choked up while expressing his feelings of homesickness and his desire to be with his family and fellow Londoners during the heartbreaking time.
You don't have a feeling of being glad that you're so far away. What you feel is that you wish you could be there with loved ones to stand alongside them.
While Corden was not able to be home in the wake of the Westminster attack, Corden sadly had to address another attack in London on London Bridge a few months later, though he was able to do so on his own terms this time, from his beloved hometown.
I'm so proud to be broadcasting here from my hometown. I'm proud to show off its beauty, its diversity, and its stoic British determination to let nothing or anybody stand in our way. This is not a country that feels afraid.
Number 8. Tamera Mowry-Housley returns to The Real after the tragic death of her niece. The Real.
It's obvious that we need change when it comes to gun violence. And I don't care if I have to knock on the doors of the White House to do it.
The Real hosts are no strangers to being real on air, which is one of the many reasons why we adore them. In November 2018, Tamera Mowry-Housley resumed co-hosting the show following the devastating death of her niece Elena in the Thousand Oaks shooting tragedy. And of course, she was still visibly grieving.
She would want me, sweet Elena, to move forward. I don't like to say move on, because I don't think I'll ever move on with the fact that she's not here with me. or with our family.
The senseless event, which occurred at a bar in Southern California, took far too many lives and rocked both the local community and the real family. Mowry-Housley's speech was an emotional and poignant celebration of life, with many tears shed as she honored her dearly departed loved one.
We would sing together during the holidays.
That's the video of you and her practicing.
I loved that girl.
Number 7. Talk show hosts react to Robin Williams' death. Various. There was no one quite like Robin Williams, which made his unexpected death all the more heartbreaking.
He was one of a kind. He's one in a million. He's like unbelievable. If you ever saw this guy stand up, you wouldn't even, if you don't know a stand-up, you should YouTube it right now and just watch it.
The beloved actor and comedian was a staple on talk shows for decades, with his quick wit and joyous personality. In August 2014, it was announced that he had tragically passed away, which devastated countless fans around the world. And the reactions of his peers speak for themselves.
He was such a great, dear friend of ours and such a joyous spirit. So when it all happened, it was, so breathtaking. And that's why I tweeted then. I just wrote no words. Because I didn't have any.
Whoopi Goldberg and Jimmy Fallon were among the hosts deeply affected by his untimely passing, and they did not shy away from showing it. They each paid their respects in touching tributes on their shows, and we sobbed right alongside them.
Oh, Captain, my Captain, you will be missed.
Number 6. Jon Stewart's monologue after the events of September 11th, 2001. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
I wanted to tell you why I grieve. But why I don't despair.
Like David Letterman, Jon Stewart was devastated by 9/11, and he expressed his pain and frustration on The Daily Show. A native New Yorker, a shaken Stewart didn't shy away from addressing the tragedy, even if that meant choking up on TV. Through his tears, he delivered an impassioned monologue that was filled with both grief and hope.
The view from the south of Manhattan is now the Statue of Liberty. You can't beat that.
He has since dedicated himself to advocating for financial and health aid for the first responders who responded to the tragedy and their families. The heart-wrenching testimony he gave to the U.S. Congress in 2019 is proof of how deeply he cares about the cause.
They did their jobs with courage, grace, tenacity, humility. 18 years later, do yours.
Number 5. Steve Harvey breaks down on his birthday show. Steve Harvey. We may not know what it's like, but we can imagine that having a street named after you is a pretty emotional experience.
All of us are here. And if Mom and Dad was here, Dad would be saying, "Do you know I'm his daddy?" And Mama would be just shaking her head. So we love you, Steve. And you have a very happy birthday.
During a surprise celebration for Steve's 58th birthday, his family, friends, and the Cleveland mayor gave the talk show host the gift of a lifetime, naming part of the street he grew up on Steve Harvey Way, as well as declaring January 17th, Steve's birthday, Steve Harvey Day.
On behalf of the people of Cleveland, I'm honored to offer this proclamation designating January 17, 2015 as Steve Harvey Day in recognition of your 58th birthday and the ceremonial rededication of a portion of East 112th Street as Steve Harvey Way in the city of Cleveland.
While Steve was visibly emotional during the entire surprise, it wasn't until the camera panned to video footage of his late mom's old house that Steve got so emotional he had to turn his back to the audience.
It's my mama's house.
Number 4. Talk show hosts remember Kobe Bryant. Various. After the shocking 2020 news that legendary basketball player Kobe Bryant passed away in a tragic helicopter crash alongside his daughter Gianna and 7 other victims, many talk show hosts took time to remember the NBA star and pay tribute to all the lives lost.
He was special. He was a special person, a great basketball player for sure, but more than that, he had So many interests outside of sports. He was intensely curious.
Among the most emotional were hosts Jimmy Kimmel, who opted to tape the tribute episode without a studio audience as it, quote, didn't feel right. Jimmy Fallon, who teared up as he shared the hilarious memory of how the two had met.
And when we'd run into each other over the years, we'd laugh about that night that we first met. We'd laugh at all the good things that had happened since.
And Ellen, who struggled to keep herself together as she urged her audience to, quote, celebrate life in the face of such a devastating tragedy.
Life is short and it's fragile, and we don't know how many birthdays we have, so we don't have to have a birthday to celebrate, just celebrate life. And if you haven't told someone you love them, do it.
Number 3, Jimmy Kimmel discusses the 2017 Las Vegas incident. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jimmy Kimmel is not shy about his love for his hometown of Las Vegas, so when the incredibly disturbing Las Vegas mass shooting occurred in 2017, it was evident that the longtime host would be heartbroken by it.
It's the kind of thing that it makes you want to throw up or give up. It's too much to even process.
While Kimmel was teary-eyed through the entire opening monologue, he also appeared upset and frustrated as he discussed the prevalence of such events in the U.S. and pleaded for stronger gun control.
Common sense says you don't let those who suffer from mental illness buy guns.
In true Kimmel fashion, Jimmy also went on to call out the hypocrisy of politicians who sent out their thoughts and prayers while simultaneously, quote, letting the gun lobby run this country.
I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm not great with this kind of thing, but I just think it's important, you know?
Number 2, Jimmy Fallon talks about his mother. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon doesn't stray from his lighthearted demeanor often. However, following the passing of his mother, Jimmy returned to The Tonight Show, where he got candid about his mother's death.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for helping me and my family recover from this loss. Mom, I'll never stop trying to make you laugh. I love you. More
During the episode, Fallon was emotional while retelling a childhood memory of his mom squeezing his hand 3 times to say, I love you, while going on to say that he repeated the sentiment to her while she was in the hospital.
I just hid and I grabbed her hand and I squeezed, I love you. And I just knew we were in trouble, you know.
If that's not enough to make you cry, later in the show, Taylor Swift performed her song New Year's Day, which includes these lyrics.
Squeeze my hand 3 times in the back of the taxi.
The coincidence, according to Tonight Show producer Mike DeCenzo, was enough to bring Jimmy to tears once again. Number 1, Jimmy Kimmel reveals his son's heart disease. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jimmy Kimmel is no stranger to getting choked up during his shows, but when he revealed that his son Billy was born with a heart condition and had to undergo heart surgery at just 3 days old, it was a different story.
So now more doctors and nurses and equipment come in, and it's a terrifying thing. You know, my wife is back in the recovery room. She has no idea what's going on.
Kimmel, who returned to hosting Jimmy Kimmel Live less than 2 weeks after Billy's birth, was emotional while retelling the story and struggled to get through thanking all the doctors and nurses who had saved his son.
I'll never be able to thank him for, so I won't even try, is what I'm saying.
Jimmy didn't stop there, though, as he went on to emotionally discuss the proposed defunding of the National Institute of Health and the detrimental effects it would have on families around America.
No parent should ever have to decide if they can afford to save their child's life. It just shouldn't happen. Not here. So, anyway, thank you for listening. I promise I'm not going to cry for the rest of the show.